Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for March 10, 2024. We're going to be talking about the Jerry Jeudy trade, a couple of NFL signings, and of course our Game of Thrones Season 1 rewatch that Tom is going through here. Joined by Tom, Quacky T. Tom, how are you?
I'm good. The Game of Thrones rewatch. I don't know. I swear I'm just getting dumber every day. I have to watch every episode like 3 times to figure. It's like I'm doing. It's like the triple feature. Every episode is getting rewatched already. But no, I'm enjoying it so far, Walt. Good to be back here after a week off. I took a little vacation, but looking forward to getting into a little banter and Game of Thrones and whatever else the show brings us as always.
I know. I always love doing the shows with you. It's a lot of fun, and I missed it last week, so I've been looking forward to it. A couple days late, but better late than ever. So yeah, we'll get into everything. But first, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would help us out a lot. And please consider super chats. It helps us out way more than you might expect. Even though I tell you guys all the time that YouTube ads pay nothing. A couple of days ago, I actually went over how much YouTube ads have paid us over the past, the past several days. So I'll read it out to you. Okay, starting last Saturday. So let's do a week. 85 cents, 54 cents, 27 cents, $1, $1.96. Oh baby, we're rolling in it there. 92 cents and $1.47. That's what YouTube ads pay us. I'm not making those numbers up. I swear it's on the screen. Yeah, so these super chats really do help us out, and I said this, and I can't remember if it was the Wednesday show or the Thursday show. I said that like whenever we get a super chat, like you and I or whoever and I, like after the show, we're like, oh man, that was awesome! Like it really helped us out. It's so cool. That really does keep the show going. So please consider that. Otherwise, and leave any comments, questions. We'll answer them. It could be about football. It could be about anything. I'll answer anything, as you guys know. On Thursday, we went off on, we were talking about who Trump's vice president should be. And then we were talking about what I would do if I were governor. So that was pretty interesting. Sue says, Walt, did your barber charge you double for cutting that crop you grew on your head? My barber charged me nothing. I get my haircut for free. Thank you very much. So I guess double zero is still zero. So I guess you could say
that. One time I asked for a 1-inch buzz, and they accidentally gave me a number 1 clipper. Oh, wow. I told my buddy, it's like, yeah, they gave me the wrong thing. I said I wanted a 1-inch buzz. They used number 1. He's like, what were they using, the metric system? It was like a basic training like buzz cut. So yours isn't quite that low, but it is much easier to manage,
Oh my God, it's so easy. I love getting my hair cut. It was 4 months since I got my hair cut last time.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, my barber was tied up with other work and other stuff, so she couldn't cut my hair. So it's been 4 months. So I actually got a cut yesterday for the first time since I know it was November 8th because we had family photos taken November 10, and it was 2 days before that. So this is the first time since November 8th that I got my haircut. So it's been a while.
Wow,
yeah.
That's pretty good. I used to go every month, and now it's like 2.5 now. There's no point. I mean, I hardly see anybody anyway. I can look unkempt at least for. Well, I mean, that's not true. I guess I do have a job, but.
Well, you're also on the WalterFootball.com After Dark show every week.
Yeah, no, that's true too.
Granted, it's a small screen, but still, people still see you.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is much easier to deal with. Not that mine's hard to deal with now, but yeah, it is. You never have to worry about bedhead if you wake up later. I mean, I'm early to everything anyhow, so I guess it's not. I don't. Never mind. I rest my case here. I digress on this point.
That's funny that you're early to everything. I'm late to everything. Like I've never been early for anything in my life.
Really?
Yeah. So even at Penn State, like I used to roll into class like on average like 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. And like one time, my friend in one of my classes, this is journalism ethics class.
Teach that anymore.
What'd you say?
They don't teach that one anymore. Remember?
Yeah, right. So yeah, it was. I rolled in. I was rolling like 10, 15 minutes late, and so like
really?
I was talking to some guy after class. He's my friend, He's like, wow, you're so cool. I just walk into class, always late, just looking like you don't give a damn. You're awesome. I'm like, wow. I was like, really? That's so awesome. I'm just late, like, because I'm like playing video games and then just going to class late. This is not a cool thing to do. I'm just like habitually late for everything.
That's interesting. I've never really like really known that about you. I'm early. I show up like an hour early to everything. Like at work, if I'm on the road for work, I'll show up an hour early to at least. I don't know why. It's just I'm never late to anything. I mean, knock on wood here, but I don't know. It's fun. Like my good buddy Dave, you know, he's a family now. So like when we get together, like if I'm up in Pennsylvania, you know, we get together. It's like, all right, come over at like 7:30 in the morning, like 8 in the morning. You know, like we'll start hanging out.
Wow.
And usually, like, but he told me one time because I showed up right at 8 a.m. or wherever, and he was like, I knew you would be on time. He's like, you're always on time, like early and on time to everything. I was like, damn, that was quite a compliment. So that's interesting. I never noticed you to be late to anything that like I don't know.
Well, next time we all hang out with my wife as well, you can bring that up, and then she'll be angry because she like has like this big complex about being punctual, and she always hates it because I'm always late to everything. I always get yelled at. Even like if we have to leave her parents' house, she's like, all right, let's leave at 2. And of course we get out of the house at 2:15 because I'm dragging my feet and doing stuff. And she gets mad at me, and you know, I feel like she's used to it by now. But I like even ahead of our wedding, she's like, she knew I'd be on time for the wedding and everything, but like this is like a family thing because my parents are always late for everything too, and my sister as well. And she like ahead of our wedding, she's like, so Walt, if your parents are late, I swear I'm not going to talk to you for a long time. So, like, luckily, my parents were not late, but they are almost always late to everything. They were late to my sister's wedding. So, this is like
how late were they?
Well, they were late for pictures, so we were taking pictures beforehand. So they were like 20 minutes late for pictures. Like, you know, like people were waiting for their pictures to get taken. So it wasn't like people are waiting like in
the ceremony,
right? No, there's like no one's waiting at the altar or anything. Like it was just it was for pictures. So
yeah. Hey, you know what I noticed at weddings anymore, and tell me if I don't think they did this at yours because I was there. I haven't heard this in a long time. You know, like maybe it's just something you heard in movies when you know, right before someone is married, you're like, if anyone has a reason why these two should not be wed, speak now. You know, the old cliche line, like, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Do they say that anymore?
I don't know if I guess they did once upon a time. I don't know. I feel like it was just like something they made up in the movies or TV shows. Like, because I've been to so many weddings and I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone say that.
I've been to a lot as well, and I don't think I've ever heard it myself, because I think that's a really strange thing to say. Like it's like the best possible outcome is neutral. You know, it's like it opens the door for some real drama to start here in a situation like where you do not want drama. So yeah, I don't. If anyone's ever heard that at like an actual wedding, let us know in the comments. Just random, you know, Quacky's intrusive thought here.
Yeah, you know, it was so I had never been to a wedding until so my roommate Dennis, who was as the developer for the site now, he got married I believe in 2009, and that was the first wedding I'd ever been to, and then like ever since then it was like a slew of weddings. But like I remember that wedding of his, and I remember like thinking about that line you just said. Like I was like, oh, I wonder if anyone's going to say anything, but they never brought it up. And then, like, I remember like being disappointed. Not that I wanted anyone to say anything, but like, I just wanted to like maybe see like if anyone's like looking around, like, is like, oh wait, should I say anything? But like, I've never heard it. Like, you're right. I've never heard anyone say like the priest or whatever say this same thing. So
yeah, I guess it's just in the movies, but yeah, that's the line that everyone knows: speak now or forever hold your peace. I've never heard it.
But I feel like the movies need it because whenever they do that, someone bursts in like that. That's like the exact moment. Like it's like they timed it perfectly every time.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very good point. Oh, Slew, I forgot. We do have to change. Oh, yeah. I can't stand the spring forward. I'll tell you what. I think this is an unpopular opinion, but you know, half the time, like you move the clock, and it's like, oh, it must be like 6:30. It's almost 9. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I feel like you lose the day as opposed to now. Like, I like when it gets dark sooner. I'm like, oh, it must be like 8:30 and it's 6.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I want it as I want it late as possible before it gets dark. Like I wouldn't mind if it's like midnight and then it starts getting dark. Like that's like my ideal situation.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like when it gets dark because I like the sunlight, even though I'm up the entire night. I guess like maybe that's why, because like I never get to see the sun. So I like it. Here's my solution for this is like people are like, oh, you should cancel this. Well, why don't we fall back every time? Like, why don't we fall back in the fall and then fall back in the spring as well? What do you think about that?
I'd be for it. Yeah, I like when it gets dark early. Let's say, hey, what's up, Carmen? Oh, you've never heard anyone object either? Yeah, okay, so we've got one vote for not objecting.
Yeah.
I'd like to know. I feel like it's got to be a non-zero number, but
go to Alaska for the summer for midnight sunset. Yeah, what's it called? Like White Nights in St. Petersburg. That's what they call it there, because like in the summer it just never gets dark.
But then 30 Days of Night. Remember that terrible vampire movie?
Yeah, I see. That's like too much. Like I want some sunlight in the winter, but like having no sunlight at all, it's just not worth it. I guess you could just migrate north for the summer and then migrate south for the winter, kind of like a bird or something. Like maybe that would work. But again, like I still don't want to go to Alaska anyway. I
heard it's nice up there. I've never been though.
I bet it's like pretty or whatever. But like I don't know. It's just like I don't like the wilderness. I don't like being outside. I don't like doing anything outside unless it's like involves going into a pool or being at the beach. Like anything that involves like hiking or anything like that. Just like no way. I'm like miserable.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'd go like hike, but not like intense hiking. Like I actually, one of my best friends from high school, he hiked the entire Appalachian Trail. It's like there's no way. I don't think I'd make it like a day. I mean, I think I have great admiration for that. I couldn't make it like that for a day.
I don't think I'd make it out of my car. Like I just would never want to do it. I just like, what's the appeal? Like I hate the idea of camping. Like I'd rather just be inside and like, either be on my computer or just watch TV, or like I said, if I'm outside, I'd love the beach and I love the pool, like being poolside and everything like that. But like being in like the wilderness, it's just like, I don't know. At least it's like something could just go wrong. Like what if you're attacked by a bear or something like that? Or what if you get like poison ivy?
I don't like camping either. And somebody was recently giving me a hard time about not liking. I'm not anti. If someone else likes camping, I'm happy for them. But it's just not like, I just know I won't like it. And so you ever heard people like, oh, well, just try it? It's like, no, like I know I won't like it. So like, just like you said, like I don't want to be out in the wilderness. Like it's going to be but I mean, I understand some people like that, and that's great. But yeah, like I don't want to risk. I'm not going to enjoy it. And like the best thing that could happen is I get eaten by, like I get torn apart by a bear. That's the best possible scenario for me.
My cousin once said, he told me, he's like, Walt, I was camping in Florida and I got attacked by a Florida panther and I fought it off with a knife. It was awesome. Like wait, what part of this is awesome? It just sounds terrible.
A real mountain man. Wow.
Yeah.
You should go on like that Naked and Afraid show. You sound like a real man of the land there. But, Carmen, you probably want to go glamping, huh? That's the thing now. But like, I wouldn't even want to go glamping. Like, set up like a hotel, like the hotel of tents. Mm-hmm. It's like I'll just stay here and do that and watch television. You know?
It's what is the point? Although that is better, I agree with Carmen. Like, I'd rather do that than just be in a tent or like a real tent. It just sounds horrible.
Yeah, I agree as well.
All right. So let's get to this NFL trade because I'm excited about our Game of Thrones talk. So we have the Broncos traded Jerry Jeudy to the Browns. So the Browns gave up a 5th and a 6th round pick this year for a receiver who was a former 1st round pick. And he just disappointed. Now he showed glimpses of times, especially at the end of 2022. He has some great games, and that kind of gave his maybe fantasy dynasty owners some hope, or or stupid people who bought Rainmaker cards of his, like me, some hope. And it didn't work out because he was pretty terrible last year. Like Cortland Sutton was a lot better. But he does have potential. He's still pretty young. He's a first round pick, so he was taken early for a reason. There's been question marks about drops and effort level, but I think that there's definitely potential here. The Browns needed a second receiver, and Amari Cooper is getting older. I think he's 30 this year, so they're going to need a number one for the future, and it could be Jeudy. And 5th and 6th round pick is a pretty cheap price for a talent like him. And then for the Broncos, they had Marvin Mims, who showed some glimpses last year, especially in the preseason. And Sean Payton, their coach, said that the only reason Marvin Mims didn't play is because Jeudy was in his way. So I think this trade makes sense for the Broncos too. But I think the Browns win this. Now, this could just backfire for them a little bit, and Jerry Jeudy just doesn't produce for them. But even if he doesn't, they gave up 5th and 6th round picks, so not a big deal. So I like this trade for the Browns. I also like it for the Broncos. I think both teams did well, but I think Cleveland won this trade. Do you have any take on this deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Browns did too. I really like Jeudy, even though he's fallen below expectations, I would think. But I don't know. I just sometimes you get like weird feelings about players, and for me, like Jeudy, I think is a player that has a high ceiling. I could see him being like a T, like maybe a ceiling like a T Higgins type. But I think he spent all his time here on this Denver team. I mean, look at how bad the last 2 years have been a clown show for the Broncos. So I mean, I really think this could be a chance for him to really reach his potential. I think it's a great deal for the Browns, and maybe just as good for the Broncos, like you said. But I think he'll have a pretty good season. I have high expectations.
I also think Marvin Mims is going to have a good year. I actually bought his legendary Rainmaker card for next year. So I already have a Marvin Mims collection. Like as people who watched our Wednesday show know, Kenny and I would open up Rainmakers packs all the time, like at the end of each episode. And like, I swear I'd pull Marvin Mims like every other episode. It was just like horrible. Like, and I was like, and I would even be like, please, no Marvin Mims this time. No Marvin Mims. It'd be Marvin Mims. And so my Marvin Mims collection is finally worth something. I'm very, very excited.
Wait, so for those unfamiliar with Rainmakers, I'm like slightly aware just like because of what I know from you, but I haven't really played. So what do you do when you have multiple cards? Like are they worth more? Like you have like 5 Marvin Mims cards. Like can you sell them away or?
Oh yeah, you can sell them away. And you could just enter them into different lineups, like
okay.
Like in the lobby. There's only golf right now, but like they see this tournament here, which is $25K to first. And there's 2,000 people in here, and like it says M150 right here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I should launch it, but that means you can enter in 150 lineups. So Marvin Mims like a single Marvin Mims can only be in one lineup, but then in your second lineup you can also have Marvin Mims.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, you play DraftKings all the time, so like think about it that way. It's just like making a lineup, but you can only enter in the players that you have.
Right. Okay. It's not like you get it's not like the set is respawn for every contest.
Right.
I got you.
Right, okay. And it's each week. So like, if you have a particular Marvin Mims card, you can only enter it once each week. But then once that game's over, or once the week's over, for the next week, you can enter in that card again.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend it. They actually have, if you don't have this already, you can actually pick up a free golf pack and you can play golf Rainmakers. And you can definitely win some money. It's like, I think it's like their core contest is like $3,000 or $5,000 to first. And like you're getting free cards, so like why not? It's like free money. Like even if you don't win the grand prize, if you don't win the grand prize, you can win like $20, $50, $100.
Right. Okay. All right.
I definitely recommend that. Like I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like it's like a cross between regular DraftKings and the stock market, because like what you could do is like you could buy players low, sell them high if you want. Like if you think like for example, if you think a player is going to do really well, but his cards are really cheap, you could just buy them up. And then, this Marvin Mims example, like Marvin Mims is super cheap before today, because no one expected him to do well next year because like he didn't do anything as a rookie. But like if you were like pretty sharp and you picked some up, like they're worth more now than they were before. So you could either keep them and make money through the contest, or you could sell them. So I think that's like an interesting aspect.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah. So if it's like the stock goes up from like $5 to 20 and you've got 50 Marvin Mims cards. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I didn't really know like how that worked like that too.
Yeah. So, and like the cards can be super cheap from like 20 cents here. But if you go to the Rainmaker tier, like they get super expensive. Like this one's going for $3,000. And like the middle tier is Elite, which is like, $30, this $30 to $100 range. This one's like $4.95. Puka Nacua is one of the most expensive ones, because there's so few of them. But yeah, like $20, $25. This is like pretty much the going rate for Elite cards after the season. And like the cards from the previous season, you can use them the following year to either make money, albeit less money, or to enter in prize packs, or pack parties where you get prize packs and you win more cards. So I don't know. I like, we've had that question that you had, where like people are like, what's Rainmakers? Because like when Kenny and I open up cards, people are like, what is this? But it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. And like you could actually just play for free. Like you don't need to spend a single dime. You could, like I said, you can go to the Rainmakers page. You can get a free pack. I think you get like 15 golf cards, which is good for like two lineups. And then you could just enter in those cards into lineups and you just make money. And like you don't have to spend a single dime, but you can spend and get better cards. So.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check that out. Appreciate the info. That's good.
Yeah. Info. Yeah. Justin says Cleveland definitely won the trade. Yeah, I agree too, because like there's not much risk here. It's fifth and sixth round picks. So like I said, even if Jerry Jeudy busts, like I think they took a shot. I think that's worth it. But yeah, like I said, Denver, maybe they're giving up a player like 50 cents on the dollar here. But they had a replacement, and Jerry Jeudy was not doing well there, so at least they got something for him. So, and I don't think they had leverage either, and like that's another thing. There were a couple of signings I wanted to discuss very quickly as well. And you can chime in if you want about any of these, or if you don't have an opinion on them.
I haven't been paying attention, so this might be a Walt showcase here. Let's see.
It's only three. It's only three signings. So this is I talked about Drew Tranquil, Kevin Dotson on Thursday, but these happened on Friday and Saturday. Patriots re-signed Hunter Henry, 3 years, $30 million. I gave this a D. And it's a bad sign because people are always down on Bill Belichick's managerial skills, particularly with receivers and tight ends, because he's done a poor job since 2007. He did well then with Randy Moss and Wes Walker, but like ever since then, he's not done a good job in that department. And people thought, like, or at least Patriots fans thought, is like, hey, Belichick's gone. Like, our defense is going to suck now, but at least we'll have a GM who can make good moves. But then this happens, and Patriots re-signed a tight end who's going to be 30 very soon. I think in November or December, for $10 million a year. And this guy, I know he did well down the stretch fantasy wise. Like, he scored a bunch of touchdowns. But like, if you look at like the metrics, like the yards per route run, he was one of the worst tight ends in the NFL. Like, it's clear that like he's a declining player. And if I had to guess, like, what he's worth, like 3 year on a 3 year deal, I would have said like 15 million at the very most. So the Patriots are paying double what his going rate should be right now. And these big contracts as tight ends very rarely pay off. So yeah, I really hate this move. I don't think it's worth an F or a million, but I think a D is worthy of. I think this signing is worthy of a D. Any thoughts on this, or do you think?
Yeah, I haven't been. I don't want to give any input on. I mean, yeah, Hunter Henry. I mean, he did have some good fantasy, like you said, down the stretch. Because I remember it's like every time I was looking up, it seemed like he was scoring. But yeah, I mean, based on his age and what you were saying, I'm not. I'll go with you on this, and with having no other knowledge.
Yeah, I think that like people will remember those touchdowns and like, oh yeah, Hunter Henry, this makes sense. But like, if you look at the metrics, he's just not there anymore. He's gonna be, like I said, 30 by the end of the year. So It's just not good. Ravens re-signed Justin Madubuike, 4 years, $98 million. I think this is a contract that's appropriately priced. It's a ton of money, and there's always a concern with giving defensive tackles huge contracts. I think back to Albert, the hamstring Hainsworth. He got $100 million and then just like sat on his butt and just did nothing and like was super lazy. And like once these defensive tackles get fat, like it's very difficult for them to lose weight. So I'm always wary of teams giving big money to big guys, in the trenches, especially if they're on the defensive side of the ball. However,
to get fat.
It's fat true. This guy's already 310 pounds,
Yeah.
Like
right.
If he balloons up to 330, it's like it's going to be much tougher for him to lose 20 pounds than, a regular person,
Yeah, right.
So anyway, he was great last year. He had 13 sacks. He was a 3rd-round pick, and like he started as a backup and then was a part-time player. And like last year, he really took off. He's only 26, so like I get it. And like the Ravens have a strong locker room, so maybe they'll be able to keep him in check, like the other players, coaching staff too. So I trust the Ravens here. They're a smart team. So I don't love this re-signing, but they had to do it. They had to bring this guy back, and like I said, I think it's the right price, but there is definitely some risk with this. Any thoughts? I know you're not paying attention. Like you said, you're paying attention.
Yeah, I'm really not paying. I don't want to say anything and skew the viewers. I don't want to mess it up for the viewers.
Okay.
What
all
else
right. Last one, and then we could go to Game of Thrones. Eagles re-signed Brandon Graham. This one's easy. 1 year, $4 million. Brandon Graham's 36, or he's going to be 36 soon. And he even said that this is going to be his last year in the NFL. He said he wanted to make it 15 years in the pros, and this is going to be his 15th year. So I guess congratulations to him on an amazing career. I remember some Eagles fans being really upset that the Eagles drafted Graham over Earl Thomas. And Graham's lasted a lot longer than Thomas. Even Thomas is a really good player, but Graham was even better. And he helped them win the Super Bowl. He almost helped them win a second Super Bowl. He's a part-time player now, so he's obviously not what he once was. But he was still pretty good last year. So having him around in the rotation, or like having him in the locker room as a good guy, I think is pretty valuable. And there's zero risk here. It's only 1 year contract. So after this year, the Eagles can just wash their hands of this. Like if Graham, for example, like tears his ACL in the preseason, or he's not going to play in the preseason, but like week 1, if he tears his ACL, then the Eagles aren't going to be on the hook for anything beyond this year. So there's no risk here. It's all upside, and they're keeping a good guy in the locker room and a good guy still on the field. So I gave this grade an A.
Jeez, like 15 years he's been in? God.
Yeah, I remember my 2009 mock draft. It's been so long.
Jeez, that's crazy. I can't. Well, yeah, that is. That's 4 times as longer than the average career. So I just can't believe it's been that long. That's insane to me. But anyhow, yeah, I'm with you. He's had a great career. Yep.
Okay. All right. Game of Thrones. Let's get to it. So last time we spoke, you watched. We got it. We got super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Slew. $12.12. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, like we get at most $1 most days. So
thanks.
This definitely means a lot. So really appreciate it. He says in honor of Walter basketball going 12-0 in NBA plays last week. That was a fun ride. I wonder if Quacky Hockey has ever had a 12-0 streak or better like that. I guarantee you have, at least in baseball.
Well, maybe I appreciate it. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, I think I threw you a couple winners there, Slew, with the Quacky Hawk. And I'll tell you what, Walt. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I had a really nice play earlier with the Sabres today, but I only saw it like 5 minutes before. And also the line movement in the game, like this was like the 3rd time in like the last week and a half it's been on the Sabres, so I was kind of reluctant. But anyhow, just real quick. So this Sabres-Oilers game today, the Sabres won in overtime with 2 seconds left in overtime. They were like off, like the teams were in the locker room, and then all of a sudden, I didn't even know. I thought I had already won the pick. They brought the team back on. They said that they were offsides for the goal. They brought the team back on. The Sabres still won in a shootout. But like I looked later, I was like, wait, what? Like final in a shootout? I was like, no, that's wrong. It was in overtime. And I was like, oh my God. Like, could you imagine? I come back later. It's like, wait, they actually lost. I mean, they were like the crowd was leaving, and the teams had to get dressed again. Like some of them had already like undressed. So yeah, but if I get any more, hockey winners there, Slew, usually the ones I give to Walt and Jacob are pretty solid. So I'll definitely throw them your way as well, buddy. So we appreciate the super chat, my friend, as always.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, and I can vouch for that. Like you're almost always on point with them. I swear you hit like an 80% rate, like it's crazy, which is insane. But no, I mean, even if like I'll say this, like even if you forget to send me a pick, you could do it during the game. Like I mean, I could just bet it live, So
okay,
true. Or anyone else, So I always love your hockey plays, and like that one summer during baseball. You were just like hitting everything every day. It's crazy. You'd only have one play per day, but you'd hit. You like what was the streak you went on? Like you just.
I went 21-5.
Yeah,
I don't know how I pulled it off either, because I remember that's when I first started my TikTok and like my daily plays, and it was just like, how is I'm not very good at handicapping baseball. I don't think, because that was the only thing that was happening. Well, it was the end of the Stanley Cup final, so that was still happening. But other than that, it was all bad. I'm like, yeah, this might not go well. And then I'm starting out 21-5. So I think that definitely helped. It definitely helped me get some viewers in the beginning, But so yeah, I've had some great streaks, and congrats to you, Walt, on the 12-0. That's unbelievable. Which is to me even more, because I think NBA is the hardest by far of the four major sports to cap. So congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. Today we split our sides. We lost on the hook on Nurkic on the rebounds. We had under 10.5. He got 11. That was kind of rough. We had one really bad beat. I don't know if you saw it. It was the Rockets. Who are they playing? Was it Rockets? It wasn't Rockets Spurs. It was. I have to look this up real fast. Rockets scores. Let's see. It's Rockets Clippers. This is on Wednesday. So Clippers were -7. We had -7 for the Clippers, right? The Clippers were up 8 with 16 seconds left. It was like 20 something seconds left. And I also had Alperen Sengun under points, whatever it was. He was like under 22.5 points or something. And so he had Yeah, so Sengun goes for a layup. They're down 8. First of all, the Rockets, they're down 8. You think they'd go for a 3, but no. Of course, Sengun goes for a layup. He gets a layup. He gets over 22.5 points, so we lose that bet. And so the Rockets are suddenly down 6 instead of 8. And so when he hits the layup, there's 16 seconds left. Okay, if you're an NBA team and you're down 6 with 16 seconds left, what do? Do you foul? So they miss free throws, or do you B, just give up because you have no chance?
I mean, I feel like you gotta foul them.
Yes, except if the Rockets are like, we give up. We're down 16 seconds left. We can't possibly come back.
Oh my god!
They just let the clock run out, and I'm like, what are you doing? There's 16 seconds left. Sounds like there are 5 seconds left. You have 16 seconds.
God, that sucks. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I was beside myself, because like that layup, not only did it cost us the prop, it also cost us the side. It was like, so bad.
God, that's
so bad.
That's terrible. I'll never forget. I always feel for you, because I was watching not too long ago. There's like a YouTube collage video of it's like the last 10 seconds of every NBA final since 2000. Like whenever the team won, or it would show the team winning.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the 2007 finals? You had the Spurs -3 or -3, and they're winning by 4.
Yep.
And with 1 second to go, they won. Cleveland had the ball, and they just threw up a meaningless 3 at the buzzer, even though they're down by 4, and they hit it.
I remember.
And you were just like, I remember you sat in the corner, and you said for a while. I mean, I've had beats like that. That's the worst, man. But it's like, I saw that, and I was like, I know the shot is about to go in.
Yeah,
because I felt for you on that one. That sucked.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. What's his name? Mac Jones taking a safety this year.
God.
Oh, that was so horrible.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we had another rough one when the Texans kneeled the 2-point. I was like, you got to be joking.
Yeah, of course, their kicker's injured, so
Yeah,
they can't
I
kick the
know.
extra point. They had to kneel. Oh man, I told this to Aton, who's on the show last week. I said I want to make a book called The Bad Beats, or a book of bad beats, or something like that. Just like going through all my bad beats over the years, or maybe like the season of bad beats, because I feel like there were so many bad beats this season, this past season. So I think that'd be interesting. But my jerks of the week book is in pagination right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so all I need to do is design a cover, and it's done. I got my ISBN number, and for my design, I usually pay someone. Like you can go somewhere, you can go to like a website, like pay a designer to draw something. What I think I'm gonna do this time is I think I'm gonna get Chat GPT to draw something for me.
Oh, nice.
So
there you go.
Yeah, so I don't have to pay anything. So.
Hey, I'll help you contribute. I'll help contribute to that Bad Beats book whenever you do it. Just let me know.
Okay. I will. Yeah, I will. I mean, I think it'd be really interesting. So I think that's gonna be my next project after I publish this Jerks of the Week book. So
awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. So Game of Thrones. Do you want to tell us? Like I said, you watched the first 2 episodes. Last episode we did. I know you've been busy, you've been traveling and stuff like that, so you haven't been able to watch too much more. But I know you watched at least one more episode. Is episode 3 the only one you watched?
That's all I got because so for the folks watching at home, I get a little dumber every day, so it's hard to. So you have to understand that about me going into this. But also, for those of you, I guess I'm just dumb. I am getting dumber. I'm dumb to begin with and getting dumber every day. It's a lot of people to keep track of. But I am getting better. So the Starks rolling into King's Landing there, and was it Jacob Lannister, right?
Jacob Lannister?
Wait, what's Lannister's first
name?
Jamie
Lannister.
Jamie Lannister. Okay, see, I'm getting this is an improvement though.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I worked on first letters with my son today. I was trying to get him to.
I should have been in that class.
To say our names, I'm like Rabbit, Rock, Raven, who's my dog's name. So.
Maybe I was thinking of Jacob Kamenker.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, Jacob's on the show.
Shout out to Jacob. Carmen's been helping me a little bit with learning some of the different people, and it's been a huge help. So I am getting better. This is a decided improvement. But now that so Bran is crippled now.
Yeah, he fell from the tower. They didn't know if he was going to wake up, and he woke up, but he can't remember anything conveniently, and he can't walk either. So
this is going to get interesting. I think I might have mentioned this last time. I think there's something I've noticed Bran he's going to become, I think, a big part of the plot here pretty soon. But yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, the Lannister siblings are getting down on the farm and whatnot, and she's all worried that that Bran's going to come back and remember, and then almost said Jacob again. I am thinking of Jacob Gallagher. Jamie Lannister. Wait, it's Jamie Lannister, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. First day on the new brain, everybody. The body like this, you don't get the brains with it.
In fairness, Jacob Kamenker and Jamie Lannister, they sound similar, don't they?
Yeah, it's the same sort of rolls off the tongue pretty similarly. But yeah, it seems damn, he's really likes his sister, huh? He's ready to go to war with everybody, and
yeah, he said he's going to kill the king.
Yeah. So I really did. I really you never mentioned it, Jacob. Yeah, okay. You're off the hook, Carmen. But yeah, it's just this episode I did a lot better job of identifying the characters. I see who. Now I know who Jon Snow is, and Uncle Benji, or was not Benji,
Benjen.
Oh, okay, not bad. And then so I'm figuring it all out, and then what's her Daenerys, right? She's pregnant now.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot happening. I feel like something's going to, obviously going to come to a head here. And what I have four more episodes before you said episode 8 was the one that's really.
No, episode 9. Episode 9, every year something crazy goes down every single season.
Yeah. And I don't know who the White Walkers, right?
Yeah, the White Walkers. You remember the very first scene of the show, of episode 1. When the 3 members of the Night's Watch went past the wall. They were up north and they saw that big white creature behead a couple of them.
Okay. So that's them.
Yes.
All right. I got you. This was a good episode for me to learn all the names. Now I realize. So Joffrey. Wait. Now I'm gonna get this wrong. He's supposed to marry Stark's daughter. Sunset. No.
Sunset.
Yeah. What's her name? No, that's Cersei. Wait, what's the other girl's name?
No, you're right. You're right about Sansa, but I thought you said Sunset.
I did say Sunset. Yeah, okay, I can't remember. And then Arya. Yeah, okay. And then I like the dude that's training Arya on the sorting.
Syrio Farrell. Yeah, there are a lot of theories about that guy. So even to this day, so the books aren't complete. So people are kind of trying to guess who he is or what he is. But yeah, there's a lot more to him than meets the eye at the very least.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think this was a good episode for me because I've been able to decipher. I mean, I had to watch every episode like 3 times, but now I think I have it in my head, for the most part, who everybody is. So now, not that I haven't enjoyed it, but it's been more figuring everything out. And now I think I'm I have an idea of who's who and what's going on. So
okay.
Did you figure out what was going on? I mean, I'm sure the answer is yes, because you're a lot smarter than I am. But you figured it out first viewing, or was there any confusion at all?
I mean, there was some confusion when I first started watching the show. I said this last time, but I started watching the show in the middle of the first season, so I was able to watch the first 5 or 6 episodes. I think it was 5 episodes. And then 6 was live for me, and then it was live the rest of the way. So after season 1, I was like, I don't want to read the books. I don't want to spoil anything. And then I was like, you know what? I could read book 1 because book 1 is season 1. So I read book 1 and I finished book 1 that summer before the season 2 came on. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta read book 2. I just can't stop. So I read through all 5 books that summer. But anyway, when I first started watching the show, the one thing I got tripped up on, and this is going to sound so stupid to any Game of Thrones enthusiast who's been watching for a long time, but this is back when I was like you, watching for the first time, confused by the people's names. So in episode 4, which you're about to watch, the synopsis is it goes something like Ned Stark investigates Aaron's death. John Aaron, the former Hand of the King. When I saw Aaron's death, I thought it was Arya because they both begin with AR. And so I was like, wait, his daughter died. I was so upset because I was like, she's so cool. She's training to be a fighter, a sword fighter. And how'd she die? And why would they just say that in the synopsis? That's the one thing I got tripped up on. It's Arya and Aaron, because of the AR. That was a dumb moment for me. What?
How big are these books? How many pages?
Well,
I don't think I'd be able to keep track of what was going on in a book. I can barely keep track on television.
Well, yeah, like I told you last time, they have in the back, they have all the family trees and stuff like that. So even if you forget someone's name, you can go to the appendix and be like, oh, he's part of that family and he's related this way. They have the family trees of every single family that he's written about. It's pretty remarkable. So that's at least helpful because there's so many characters. There's if you think there are a lot of characters in the show, you haven't seen anything yet in the books. It's insane. And I actually think that's why he hasn't finished book 6. Is I think he knows how to end it. I just think he doesn't know how to get there because he's had so many characters. There are like so many threads. I think like if he doesn't close them, he's going to be criticized for it. And I think that he just doesn't know how to close all these threads. That's what I think he's tripping him up because like and I've said this, I think I said this the last time I spoke to you. It's like people are like, oh, he's so lazy for not finishing book 6. But like he's written so many other books since then. Like he's written side books. He's written prequels to Game of Thrones. He's worked on the show. He's worked on the prequel to the show, House of the Dragon. He does a lot of work. It's not like he's just sitting on the beach, you know? Yeah, he does a lot of work, and I just like, and you have to wonder like why hasn't he finished the book? And I just think it's because he just doesn't know how to get to the end.
Interesting,
yeah. So anyway,
hopefully he doesn't rush it. You know, he does. I mean, it's such an epic story and it's such a beloved thing. Like, it's not something you want to just like do all willy nilly either. So I mean, I think it's wise on his part. As someone who has never read the books, you know.
Well, it's been 13 years since book 5 came out, and
oh really?
Yeah, Tom, I moved into my house, and when it was the first summer here. No, since 2010. Yeah, it was 2010. It was the first summer here that I read the books. It's been almost 14 years since I read book 5. Yeah, so I mean, you know when I moved into this house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how long it's been. So
okay, I didn't realize it's been that long.
I know you're saying don't rush, but it's not like it's been 2 or 3 years or 4 years. It's been almost a decade and a half.
Yeah, it's like if after 13 years, man, you're not, hang tight. You take another 13, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's why I think he's just stuck and like he doesn't know how to close some threads, and I think it's just really bothering him. Because like he would have done so already if he could have. And you were asking how long the books are. Like every book has been progressively longer, except for book 4, because book 4 and book 5 were supposed to be one book, but like it was so long that he had to split it up. So like books 1 and 4 are the shortest ones, and I think they're like I want to say like 600 pages. But like book 5 is like 12 or 1300 pages. Like it's crazy. And book 3 was the second longest. It's like 1100 pages, but I think book 3 is like one of the best books I've ever read in my life. Like maybe the best book I've ever read. Because there's a lot of stuff. Book 3 encompasses seasons 3 and 4 of the show. Like you're going to see some major stuff go down seasons 3 and 4. It's crazy. I'm not even going to say anything, but like, yeah, I look forward to your reactions from those seasons.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like, how long does it take you to read like 1,000-page book like that?
I don't know. I don't know how long. I mean, like, if I start reading, like, I really read through it, like, but I say I don't read that often just because I don't have the time. But if I do start reading, I can get through something super quickly.
Like, you think you get through that in like 2 weeks or something?
Maybe like a month.
A month? That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just like that's like all I was doing for like free time, And like I'll say this about book 4 it's known as like maybe being one of the worst books because, like I said, he split up books 4 and 5 because it was supposed to be one book. So like there are certain characters in book 4 who are not there, and they're in book 5 because he just split up the characters. So like some of the cool characters, like I think. I don't even want to say it, but like there are some characters you may already like who are not going to be in book 4 just because like they're mainly in book 5, and so like book 4 got a lot of criticism for that. But there's like I'll say Cersei in book 4, she finally gets point of view chapters, and like you finally get to like see how crazy she is. Like in her point of view chapters, because you couldn't before. Like you could always see her from an outsider's perspective. Like you'd read a Sansa in an earlier book, like have her talking to Cersei and like being all timid and stuff like that. But like starting in book 4, Cersei got her own point of view chapters for the first time, and like like I said, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty insane how like crazy Cersei is, and I swear like this is true. I found myself getting a little crazy just reading her chapters. Like I felt, no joke. I felt like myself like losing some of my sanity just reading her chapters. Like that's how like insane she is. That's how good the writing is too.
Wow. Okay, that really says a lot. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's really, that's really good. I definitely recommend the books, but Also the shows. So any other impressions? Because I want to ask you some questions and see if you picked up on some stuff.
Oh, geez, I didn't know there was going to be a quiz. Okay, I'll have to do, I'll have to do my best here. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. Yeah, I guess Demaria, she knows the kid is going to be a boy. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of foreshadowing with, like especially the Stark kids are, between Arya and, well, not kid. Well, I guess Jon Snow is the bastard kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of Stark. Yeah, like they're, doing a lot of, using that sword a lot. I feel like that's going to be foreshadowing for something with them, maybe. But otherwise, yeah, I think, I think things are going to be coming to a head on different fronts here, maybe in the next couple episodes. So, I'm interested to know what you got to quiz me here, because hopefully I don't fall on my face.
Oh no, it's not a quiz. I just I wanted to like see if you picked up on some stuff. Like, for example,
yeah, but don't pass the quiz. You're not gonna let me back on the show.
That's it. You're done. No. So when it's first made known that Daenerys is pregnant, like, did you see? You know the guy Jorah Mormont, the guy, the knight who's riding with her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see like his reaction to it? Did you like pick up on anything there?
So what, when the Dothraki woman comes in to say that she hasn't,
yeah, she's like make find some goats or ducks, and
yeah,
yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah, didn't it kind of like zoom, like it kind of the camera stayed on him for a little bit, I think, right? Or
yeah, I don't know if you saw his facial reaction. Like he looked pretty concerned or whatever.
Oh, okay. I think I guess I didn't remember that. No, I'll have to read, because that's near the end of that episode.
It's toward the end, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to watch that again. Who is that guy again? He's the he's a knight that's with her.
Yeah, Jorah Mormont. I don't know. Did they? I don't know if it's this episode or next episode, but did they talk about why he's there? Or maybe he will in the next episode.
I don't think he did.
Okay. So he will in the next episode. But he did mention his dad. I don't know if you remember that. Like he I don't know if he said he betrayed his dad or something like that.
Okay, sort of.
Yeah, so his dad actually has been on the show. I don't know if you've made that connection. I don't know if it's possible for you to make that connection yet. He has been in the show. You've actually seen him on the show.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've made the connection yet.
Okay. He is his dad is the head of the Night's Watch. He's like the older guy with white hair who's standing with Tyrion watching Jon Snow fight.
Okay. I know who you're talking about. About.
Yeah, it's Jorah Mormont, and Jorah is the son who's the disgraced knight. Okay, so in the small council, which I think is like it's pretty intriguing part. Like I like all the characters in the small council. Did anyone like stand out to you there?
Yeah, the one that looks like Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester, okay. Varys.
Yeah. Wait, what's his name?
Varys, Varys.
Yeah. And then wait, is Littlefinger on that council, or that's a different guy?
Yeah, it's Littlefinger.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of getting to know them, but I don't know. Uncle Ferris stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a pretty knowledgeable individual there. Yeah.
Yeah, he said my birds spoke to me or something like that. He said I even have birds in the north. And so I think he and Littlefinger are the two most interesting characters on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they are so ahead of everyone else. Like in this Game of Thrones, like they're kind of like overseeing the chessboard, almost. And they both deal in information. They get information various ways, and you won't know about Varys's way for a long time. But you could probably assume how Littlefinger gets his information.
Probably from Stark because they're like kind of buddies, yeah.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you've seen the establishments that Littlefinger owns, right?
Oh yeah, he's into the it's a house of ill repute.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Right.
Katniss or not Katniss, Catelyn, right?
Yeah.
Katniss is from Hunger Games, which I've also never seen. Catelyn was mad at him for having her there, yeah.
Yeah. And smartly said, no one's gonna look for you here. But I mean, you could assume that he gets a lot of his information, via his employees, right? Like
his employees.
No,
yeah, they're all WP'd.
Well, think about it. Like they're with a guy who's like rich and powerful. I mean, you've seen those Project Veritas videos when people go on dates and like they spill all their information. Like,
oh yeah,
it's so true. Like it happens in real life, and apparently it happens in Game of Thrones because that is how Littlefinger gets all of his info. Is like these rich and powerful people. They're with these women, and they're going to spill all their secrets to these women because they want to sound great to them, and then they report back to Littlefinger. So like that's how he gets his network of info.
That's a great ploy.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that's like guaranteed to work. Like 90. The only time that never worked. Remember in Good Burger when they had Carmen try to get Carmen Electra to go on a date with Ed to get the sauce recipe.
Yeah,
but Ed wouldn't give her the recipe. That's the only time that didn't work. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's like 99%. Actually, it's funny. I just watched a show called the Fall of the House of Usher, which I thought was it was a documentary about Usher, so I wasn't going to watch it. Then someone told me to watch it, and I did.
The guys in the movie theater,
right? No, actually, no. My wife told me to watch it because she said it was really good. It's actually a really good show. I recommend it, but you have to get through Game of Thrones first. But it's about real quick. It's about this very rich family. They're like the father is president of a pharmaceutical company, and like all the kids are like they're all super rich and stuff like that just via him, and also like with other stuff. Like one's like a surgeon of some sort. One is he makes video games or something like that, and so like the premise is like the DA comes out against the family and the company because he announces like one of the kids, and there's 6 kids in his family. He says one of the kids is supplying him with information. And so like they try to like think about like who is betraying the family, and like one by one the kids start dying. And so it's good, really good show. But I bring that up because the youngest kid, he wants to impress his dad by like he's like, well, I'm gonna throw these expensive parties, like 10,000 per person, like very exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
and the dad's like what are you doing? Like, you're just wasting my money to have parties, like get out of here. And so you think this kid's a joke, but then like you see like the brain power behind the actions is like he's at this party, he's having a good time and everything like that. But then he goes into this back room where he has all these cameras, and like he's talking to like his like right hand man or something like that. He's like, see that person there? That is a senator from whatever state. He's like, see that person there? That's the son of the governor of whatever state. And so he points to like 5 different people. He's like, yeah, this is fun, but we're gathering information here, and we're gonna sell it. And so I thought that was like super smart, and that's like basically what Littlefinger does.
And that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, you thought "Fall the House of Usher" was a documentary about Usher. Remember the song? Remember the song "Air Force Ones" by Nelly?
Yes.
I thought it was. I never listened to the lyrics when it first came out. I thought it was about the aircraft that carried the president of the United States.
Oh, really?
Like the plane, Air Force One.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, it's Nike shoes. Like it's like I still listen to that song every now and then. It's a good song for the time.
Yeah, it's pretty catchy. Yeah.
But I was like, oh,
back when music was good. I honestly I couldn't tell you a song that's come out in the past 5 years. I can't name a single song that's come out in the past 5 years. Like if you held the gun to my head, you're like, Walt, I will. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this on YouTube. Walt, I will fire this if you can't name a song. I'd be like, I can't. I'm dead. Sorry.
I mean, that's kind of like, you ever have someone ask you like, what are your favorite movies? And like, I can't think of any. Not only can I not think of my favorite movies, I can't think of any movie I've ever seen ever in the history of the world. Like that sort of thing. So I bet I could name a song, but like I can't think of any right now because there's something wrong with me. We missed the Chris Jones contract.
It just happened an hour ago, so yeah, I didn't see it. Chris Jones signed a 5-year extension, worth $95 million. Oh, 95 million guaranteed. Wow. So, I don't know what
I think I actually did see that, or I think I saw it pop up on my. Yeah, I think they said it was a record deal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Schefter tweeted out at 10:52, and we started the show at like, well, I sent you the invite at what time was it? It was so just to know it's not my fault. 10:55. So I could have technically seen it 3 minutes beforehand, but I was.
Yeah, we're gonna blame you anyway. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know. What am I doing here?
I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to.
It looked like it was a record contract. I think is what I saw from the ESPN. Like, because I saw it pop up right before you sent me the link. Actually,
yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to find the total amount here, and I can't. I just see 95 million guaranteed, which is crazy. This guy isn't he 30? I want to make sure real quick. I just want to see what his age is. If I'd known, I would have prepared for this, and I wouldn't be checking real time. But I want to see his age, because like they gave this contract to a 30-year-old. I think that's a huge mistake, even though he's a great player. He's going to be 30 in July. Yeah. Man, I'd like in year 3, if he goes if he really regresses, like, what do you do for the Chiefs here? This is pretty rough. I can't say I love this deal. Like it'll be great the first year or two, which I guess is like, if you're Andy Reid, like maybe you're only gonna be coaching for 2 years, so maybe it makes sense for him. But long term, I think that this is a very risky contract. We were talking about how Brandon Graham is no risk. Like this is all risk, I feel like. 95 million guaranteed. If it's 5 year, 95 million overall, I'd be like, okay, that's a fair deal. But 95 million guaranteed.
Wow.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay. Well, I mean, he had a great, season last year. So, I mean, I guess you can say that's the thing. That's the thing about these contracts, when you keep winning the Super Bowls, like it's, I guess it's easier for them to negotiate that. But I don't know. I'm not by any means any sort of contract expert or an expert on anything for that matter. But, the Bills Von Miller contract, Mike. What was that?
Yeah. 30. Sheldon's saying it's 32 million a year, which would be 160 million in total. So 5 years, 160 with 95 million guaranteed. That is a lot of money for a 30-year-old.
Wow.
Like Chris Jones is an amazing player. Like you could argue, I would like top 5 defensive player overall in the NFL. But in 3 years, is he still going to be top 5? Like maybe, but probably not. Like he's going to be heading into his age 32 season. And like the players tend to fall off like before that. So I can't really endorse his contract. I do get it. Like I'm not going to give it a million or anything like that. I think I might give this a C, just because like there's so much risk involved. But then again, I feel like Kenny will just yell at me, be like, the cap's fake, who cares? So maybe I should take that into consideration. But I feel like this is pretty risky still. But maybe we'll get Kenny's take on it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem a little excessive, but I mean, I agree with you. I think he's probably top 5 defensive, arguably for sure. So I'm on this, as someone who knows nothing about these contracts, really, I would tend to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll have a grade on this on the site after our show's over. And it looks like a punter got re-signed too. I don't think I'll be grading that, but.
Oh, come on. Grade the punters, man. They give them their day in the sun.
They already got their day in the sun. You have Rich Eisen saying punters are people too. And I'm like, not really.
Like a little 3-minute segment on them.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he says they're people. I feel like they're more so abominations.
what? They're more. What are the punters are people too? Like, who are the people saying that they're not? Is there someone out there?
Me,
like,
me.
Well,
no. I joke because like I said, my plan is to have my son become a punter in the NFL or college football at least.
Yeah, and then you'll be directing the punters or people too segment.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Is that what he really called it? Punters are people too. That's
that's
as
if
they've been like oppressed in the NFL or something. I don't know. Maybe they.
Yeah, I mean, no one talks about them, and like it's really difficult for a punter to stand out. You know, he's never gonna have a highlight ever unless it's like unless it's like a 99-yard punt like that'll draw a highlight. You know, but like no, I just like you're never gonna see punter do anything unless like I don't know if you remember this Tom Tupa, the punter for the Jets. He came in quarterback. He came in a quarterback because all the Jets quarterbacks got hurt. So he came in one time, and he actually did a pretty decent job.
Yeah, he did. I remember. I think it was against the Patriots, wasn't it?
It was week 1 of
I think it was against the. I remember Tom Tupa. Yeah, could you imagine if you could like somehow like you had like an ability to like punt the ball right like no matter what like inside the 5-yard line like that like it would have to be like almost like a novelty something. You know what I mean? Or like you would be like inside the 10 like 90% of the time. Then I think you get recognition. But otherwise, like, but I think it's not like you're going to miss a game-winning field goal. Like I wouldn't want to be the kicker. Like imagine you missed a game-winning field goal sort of thing. Like people will hate you for that. But do you remember the Miracle in the Meadowlands too when Deshaun Jackson ran that punt back? Matt Dodge was the punter. And I just remember Tom Coughlin coming off the sideline. You can read his lips, and he's yelling at Matt Dodge. He goes, "What did I tell you to do? What did I tell you to do?" It's like, don't punt it to him, dude.
Yeah.
Because of that game, the Packers won the Super Bowl. Packers won the Super Bowl that year because of that game.
Okay.
Because Deshaun Jackson ran that back because the Giants had the better record, but because they blew that game to the Eagles, then the Packers beat them the next week. And because they ended up blowing that game to the Eagles, that put the Packers in the driver's seat. All they had to do was win out the last 2 games. So Deshaun Jackson doesn't return that punt. Like the Eagles don't come back. Like the Packers don't make the playoffs, and the Packers don't win the Super Bowl that year. So I always think of that. I remember that play well as a Packers fan. I would actually venture to guess like a lot of Packers fans don't remember that. But yeah, it was an important reason as to why they got why the Packers made the playoffs in the first place that year. So.
Yeah, maybe Packers should enshrine Deshaun Jackson into their Ring of Honor. Or something
they should enshrine Matt Dodge.
Matt Dodge, yeah. And see, it's funny because like I guarantee a lot of people remember that play. However, they'll never remember the punter's name, even though he screwed up. You know, except like you do, obviously, but like I guarantee if you walk into a bar with 200 football fans. And you ask them, well, who was the punter on Miracle of the Meadowlands 2? Not a single person would get that correct.
I agree. And you want to know, I saw something recently to help like further like confirm that, because what I'm about to tell you really blew my mind, Walter. It was like a top 10. It was like an NFL Network, one of their dumb top 10 lists. And it was like the most like forgotten plays or something like that of NFL playoff history. Mm-hmm. And one of them was, they have like the stupid talking heads in between from like local sports, wherever. And one of the plays was the 07-08 year when the Giants beat the undefeated Patriots, that Plaxico Burress caught the game-winning touchdown. And like all the talking heads were like, I never remembered that Plaxico Burress caught. It's like, are you freaking serious? Like, how do you not remember that?
Yeah,
like it's not like everyone remembers the helmet catch, but it's like you guys do this for a living. Like, that was so easy to remember for me that Burress caught that winning touchdown. I don't know. I was just surprised. Like every one of the talking heads was like, "Oh, I never could have told you that." So if they didn't know that, like they definitely didn't, because that is a very memorable Super Bowl, and people definitely don't know that Matt Dodge was the punter. So that's what I say.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how you don't remember that.
Yeah, if you're a talking head sports guy.
Right.
That wasn't even like people off the street. So yeah, like I thought that was it's inexcusable. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, no, they really should. That's ridiculous. Like it's not like like you're saying, it's not like a casual, fan, like who only watches the Super Bowl for the halftime show. It's like someone who does this for a living.
In the
you
Super Bowl,
think they know.
Yeah,
right.
and in the Super Bowl, that was one of the most memorable of my lifetime.
Sure, and it's not like week 8 of season X.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl. Like, how do you not remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say maybe they're just like really struggling for content. It's like, hey, pretend you didn't remember this. We can't find any other plays. I don't know. I guess there's that. There's like a 5% chance that could be the case too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I guarantee more people know Plaxico Burress for shooting himself and then getting suspended.
He had that. For those who may not know, what he was wearing like baggy pants or something in like a club, and like the gun, he had a gun in his waist and it accidentally went off and it shot himself in the leg.
Yeah. And then he got suspended for it, and he served prison time or something.
I'm not sure. I think you might be right, because he wasn't author. Yeah, wasn't that like the next year?
I think so.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was. He served 22 months in prison.
Did he really?
22 months for exercising his Second Amendment rights. Okay. And he pleaded guilty to gun possession charges. Not even like reckless use of firearm. It was gun possession charges. That's the Second Amendment. What's he serving prison time for? He should.
Well, I guess he maybe wasn't registered. I don't know. There's probably some technical. I don't know. I didn't even know it was that much. He first started out in the Steelers, didn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot he was on the Steelers.
Oh, really? I feel like that's, I don't know. Like, that's where I remember him for most as.
I guess now that you say it, I do. You know what? It was interesting. Someone said to me not too long ago, because I'm a lifelong Orlando Magic fan, for those who don't know, and we were talking about Shaq, and someone was like, "Oh, I forgot Shaq was on the Magic."
Huh. It's funny.
It's like, man, I love Shaq on the Magic. That was because that team was so good with Penny Hardaway and Shaq. Oh man, what a great team! So I was really surprised to hear that people were like, "Oh, like I forgot Shaq was even on the Magic." I mean, Lakers were his like real heyday, but I mean, he had great years in Orlando too.
Yeah, and Miami.
Yeah. He won a title in Miami. Gary Payton was on that team too.
Yeah. Did he play anywhere else? Just those 3 teams, or did he play anywhere else?
No, he played for Boston and Cleveland and the Suns too.
Yeah, so I feel like people remember or forget that, because like it's so forgettable.
Yeah.
Like Emmitt Smith playing for the Cardinals, like, and people might remember that, but like it didn't happen for too long. It's very easy to forget.
Right. I think a lot of people would forget that too. I remember it because it was a terrible idea by the Cardinals. Yep. Like, that's not going to work. Like, it was. Do you remember Hakeem Olajuwon was on the Toronto Raptors?
No, I forgot that.
I had forgotten that too until I heard it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I saw like this whole list of I don't know, like forgotten players. I was recently watching that Manti Te'o documentary on Netflix, which is it's called The Girlfriend Who Didn't Exist. For those, it's part of that Untold series, and y'all know I love those sports documentaries. It's really good. It's a really interesting story. I highly recommend it. But that was that year that Notre Dame was number one. They got crushed in that national championship, 42-14. They lost to Alabama. But that Alabama team, they had Amari Cooper and TJ Yeldon and Eddie Lacy. Remember Eddie Lacy?
Yeah. He
was a beast at Alabama. He was on my Packers. Lacy had some good years, and then remember he got fat.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, a big thing. Like
he ate his way out of the NFL.
Yeah, he really did. And then he like made it public. Oh my God, Tony Horton that did P90X. That work. I've done P90X before. It's a good freaking workout. You get in good shape. But he hired like Tony Horton to like be his trainer, so he like get back in shape. But he never really did. But I'll never forget that playoff game against the Cardinals. Man, he rumbled for like 70 yards. You remember that? It was the one where Rodgers had that Hail Mary at the end of that game. Yep. Yeah, but I was watching some highlights of that game. I don't know how I got on this tangent now, but like Lacy was just like absolutely crushing him.
Mike says Emmett couldn't even spell Cardinals, which is very true. Float like a bee, sting like a butterfly. Muhammad Ali.
I still can't believe he.
It's one thing to like misspeak on TV because it's easy to do that, but it's another thing to like get the guy's famous quote wrong right after he dies, and like you could just like you could just look at it and reread it and be like, wait, this doesn't make sense.
And not only like all of what you said, but also like Muhammad Ali is like arguably the greatest sports legend of all time.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, dude. I think I've said this before on the show when Emmett announced the World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
You know, they say shuffle up and deal. That's like that's their version of like gentlemen start your engines. Emmett gets on the mic and he's like, shuffle up and play.
Yeah.
And Mike, I can't think of his name. He's like, well, Emmett may have stumbled there, but he didn't many times in his career. It's like, oh my God, dude. You can't say like 4 or 5 freaking words. Shuffle up and play.
I still think like their offense, they got debacled.
Yeah. Well, he's in that Bud Light commercial with Peyton Manning, and all he has to say is touchdown.
You can't ask him to say much more, unfortunately. But yeah, no, he was so great on TV. I remember just like waking up early to catch all of his errors and just post it on the site. It was so great. And in one of my seasons of Emmett on the Brink, I had an alternate dimension where everything Emmett said was in this alternate reality. So because he once said, float like a bee, sting like a butterfly, there were killer butterflies in this alternate reality that stung you.
Emmett, that was that same, we were talking about the Patriots Giant Super Bowl. That was that same year when he started commentating, 07. Yep.
That was his first year, and they brought him back for one more year, and like they're like, oh, we really worked on his grammar. he was not any better. It was so bad.
The NFC West is one of the weakest conferences in the whole NFC.
Yeah, right.
One of the weakest conferences.
He would say, he'd say when he was talking about quarterback, he's like, the quarterback, he's buying time for his lineman. And I was like, wait, it's just like, don't the lineman buy time for the quarterback? And so in this alternate reality, I had this time store where quarterbacks could actually buy time for their linemen.
Longer life expectancy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, and I mean, Emmitt's, one of the arguably the greatest running back of all time, but I wish they would bring him back as a commentator, though.
Oh my God! If I ran a network, he'd be my lead guy.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. He's the best. He's so entertaining.
Yeah. It was a lot of. I mean, I got so excited watching him. It was great. It was so much fun.
So great. Sue says, was it Terry Bradshaw or someone who remarked he couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the T?
Wait, he said that about Emmett.
I didn't heard it, but I could.
Oh, Flu,
it's kind of surprising that Bradshaw would insult him like that. But
yeah, really.
Oh no! Someone was it of Terry Bradshaw? Okay, yeah. Someone said about Terry Bradshaw.
I
see what Flu's saying
I
now.
that wrong
okay.
too.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, Bradshaw's a little out there too. No, but you said how we got on this topic. You were talking about how you saw the Manti Te'o documentary.
Oh yeah, and I was just thinking about that. We were talking about forgotten players and that sort of thing, I guess. And I was thinking about Eddie Lacy because I was watching that game, and he was just like freaking running amok out there. He was really great, and I thought he was going to be like the next big like Green Bay had some good. I mean, they went to the NFC Championship a couple times with him, and because Green Bay never really had a running game, they always had there were a couple times when they won that Super Bowl. Remember James Starks?
Yeah, the Buffalo running back. No. That was Buffalo, right? Yeah,
Buffalo. Buffalo. You're right. Yeah, and he just came on that postseason. He never really did anything else like the rest, but he had a solid. I think one game he rushed for 140 yards or something. He was a big part of that run. So I'll always remember James Starks, that 2010, 2011.
I liked him coming out of Buffalo. And then I was like, yeah, I was right about this guy. And then he just disappeared.
Yeah. I always hoped he would be, but he was a fan favorite though. Mm-hmm. But who would you say is the best running back of all time?
I think Barry. If you put him behind Dallas's offensive line in that system, he would have had 20,000 rushing yards, I think. Like, I mean, Emmett had the durability. Like, Emmett's the most durable running back of all time. But I think Barry just like what he did, and like with no supporting cast, like Herman Moore, like, but still,
I
like,
Herman.
Herman Moore is really good. He's a great receiver, but like with like Detroit's offensive line nowhere near Dallas's. Detroit's quarterback's nowhere near Troy Aikman. You know, it's like obviously Detroit is a much worse team. Like he carried the Lions to the playoffs like on his own. They had other good players like Moore and Porsche, but it was mostly Barry. And like I would love to see his career if he played behind everything Dallas had. You know,
I agree. I mean, I would go with Walter Payton. I think is maybe the greatest, but Barry I would say is probably second. I'll tell you what, when I watched, I mean, obviously that 49ers Lions NFC Championship game was hard. That was one of the most heartbreaking games I've ever. And it's not even my team. But, like, that was one of the most heartbreaking games I've ever witnessed. And I just remember before the game, like I think it was during the national anthem, and like they were panning, you know, on the sidelines, and like I saw Barry Sanders there, like. I actually teared up a little bit. Like, it was like, wow, like I don't know. It just made me feel very nostalgic to see Barry Sanders. Like he was, if you didn't like get to see him play, you know, like it was really something else. I caught him like I probably watched him for like 2 or 3 years. I started watching football, I think 95 or so. So I got to see a little bit of him, but yeah, he was incredible too.
He was so good that people were drafting him in fantasy leagues after he retired. You know, like this is like I remember in 2000, I was having dinner with my roommate and his dad was like, "Yeah, I drafted Barry in the final round of my fantasy draft just to see maybe if he comes back." You know, this is after his retirement. You know, like people were drafting him like a couple years after. Just because like he was that good, and like, you know, if he came back, they'd strike gold in the final round.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's not a bad angle. It's not a bad angle at all. But of course he didn't. So
yeah,
imagine you have Barry Sanders and Megatron like on the same team with
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just get all the best Lions of all time. Like all together.
Herman
Moore,
Lions,
Robert Boucher.
Lions All Stars.
Yeah.
All legend team. That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mike's saying it might have been Jerry Glanville who said that about Bradshaw. It's something Jerry would have said. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else? We were talking about Game of Thrones, and I think that like we got sidetracked a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's all right. I think we were wrapping up on that anyhow, because I only watched one episode. But now I think it's going to be easier for me to watch now that I have like a better idea of who the honk everybody is. Yeah. So I think I'll be able to be armed with more, you know, more episodes under my belt next time instead of having to figure out like who the hell everyone is.
Well, no, I was bringing up Littlefinger and Varys, and I wanted to highlight them because this is something that the books could not do that the show does. Is like you're going to see some scenes where they just talk to each other, and this was never going to be in the book because you have the point of view characters. You have like how the book works. I've told you this before. Like each chapter, it says like the chapter name will just be Bran, and then it'll be Ned, and then it'll be Catelyn, and then it'll be Ned again. And so like you just see every chapter is just their point of view. And you can't have Littlefinger. You can't have a Littlefinger chapter. You can't have a Varys chapter because they know everything. And so like everything will be spoiled. Like, oh, what these mysteries, like, oh, who had the knife? Who was responsible for sending the assassin to Bran? Why did Robert Aaron die? Like all this stuff, like all these mysteries that you just don't know. Like it would be solved instantly because they know it. And so like there'd be nothing as a reader, like you can't have that information yet.
Right.
So like you can't ever have a chapter like that. But in the show, you can show the two characters talking, and like you obviously know that they know way more than they're willing to say to each other. But like you can have them just have a conversation, which you just can't in the book. And so that was like that's why I really like the show as a compliment to the book, at least in the first 4 or so seasons, because like it had like, it was like basically a supplement to the book, because it gave you all these extra scenes which you could imagine would happen like in the book, like outside of what you're reading, like in the background, like you can imagine this conversation happening, but like you just can never read about it. And so that's why I liked it. And like I don't know how you're going to feel about these two characters, but I think they were super interesting. In fact, we ran a Game of Thrones Mafia game on the website. This is like, I want to say like 2013 or so. It was a long time ago, and I don't know if you know how Mafia works, but basically you're assigned a role, you're assigned a character and a role, and just you have to survive to the end, basically. And I had two characters. I had Littlefinger and I had Varys, and their goals, like it didn't matter who won the Game of Thrones. It was outside of their goals. They had to outlast the other one. And they were able to gain information just by like targeting people. And so like I thought that was really cool. And like I actually assigned it to like the two smartest people playing the game, in my opinion. And I wanted to see them like kind of like outwit each other. And like it was really good how it went down. So
yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest unfolds. The rest of the season. I might watch an episode after we get off here. So
nice. Yeah. I'm curious to see your reactions and stuff like that, especially to episode 9. This first season, it's definitely a memorable one. It had my friend Paul. He, after episode 9, he said he was never going to watch the show again, and of course he did. But like it was pretty jarring, to say the least. And then like every episode 9 is crazy, until the show got bad in the final couple of seasons.
You're not going to let me watch it after what, season 6 or
season 6? There's the episode 9 of season 6 is called The Battle of the Bastards, which you probably know which one of them are. But yeah, there's that, which is I like great cinematic, like just viewing. I mean, like there's a huge battle that happens. It's so good. Like the whole episode is just one giant battle. Like it's so great. And then the next episode is the one I told you about, where there are like instruments added to each character as they progress toward death. And so that I want to see your reaction to that. But that the episode after the Battle of the Bastards should be the final episode you watch. But you can keep going if you want, but I guarantee you're going to regret it, because I do.
Have you met anyone who has enjoyed those episodes?
No.
Wow,
no one. And everyone, I've met some people who are like, it was okay. Like that's the best I've gotten.
Okay.
Everyone who's like a serious person, and like not just like just like no, just like some, like I feel like the people are like, oh, that's just okay. We're like people just watching in the background and not really paying attention. Like
right.
Like the people who are actually like invested in the show, all of them hated it. Like all of them. I want to have like Kenny on with us at one point, because we used to do a Game of Thrones podcast where we used to recap every episode, and then I'd have my crackpot theory, like for every episode, to like just kind of guess what's going to happen.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I wanted to have Kenny on, and I wanted to like maybe after season 6, I'm gonna have Kenny on to kind of like doubly enforce you not to watch it. You know?
Okay. That sounds good. Jeez. Now, the more you say it, though, the more I'm tempted. It's like telling a little.
I know. It's like don't open Pandora's box. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, geez. Maybe I'll heed your advice. We'll see.
Yeah.
I've got a long way to go before I get there. So
you do. But I look forward to our journey. So
as do I.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else. I mean, otherwise we can probably sign off.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for today. This was good, though. We got in a lot of different. So what's great about the show with you, man. You never know where we're gonna get to. So
yeah, we were talking about a lot. So yeah, it's always a blast. Like I said, I was looking forward to this especially after last week's hiatus. So glad we're back on schedule, and I assume next Thursday we'll do this again.
I'll be here,
for sure. All right, thanks for everyone for commenting, watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for Slew for this $12.12 super chat. Really appreciate it, Slew. Like I said, at most days, but we did have that $1.90 day, which is pretty crazy.
Nice.
But it was mostly like 70 cents. So this is like 12 days in one. So thanks so much, Slew.
Brother.
Yeah, for sure. And please please like and subscribe. All that stuff would really appreciate it. Tom, do you have anything to plug here?
That's all I got for now. I'm taking a little break from streaming at the moment, but yeah, I will be back in like a month or so. I'm working on doing some stuff, getting back into music, and I'm figuring out how to get my own show and start making some video essays as well. So I'm pivoting a little bit from the streams, but I will be back probably in maybe a month or so. But yeah, Quacky_T on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I can throw you my hockey picks too. I know Slew, I've thrown a couple hockey picks to him. I'm 2-0 with the Slew picks, and like Walt was saying, usually they're pretty good. But yeah, Quacky T on Twitter as well, or the artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm sorry, X. And hope to see you out there. Appreciate all the support, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry to hear that you're taking a break, because I was gonna request for you to play one of those Kaizo hacks. It's called
I'm just taking a little break. I'm kind of just trying to pivot away from TikTok, honestly.
Well, TikTok's getting banned within the next few weeks, so it's everyone's gonna be taking a break from TikTok.
Well, we'll see. They said that a year ago, and nothing happened.
Well, no, they actually passed. They passed it in the House. They passed, and the president said, the House committee passed it unanimously for it to get banned, and the president said, he said, if the House passes it, or if Congress passes it, I will sign it. So it's going bye-bye. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know. Like I've just kind of been like unplugged from it. But yeah, just because I'm not going anywhere. I'm just trying to pivot into some new projects. Just like when I started out, I did the sports picks, and I did poker tournaments, and now I did video. So the Quacky page is always evolving, sort of thing. So
yeah. But yeah, I was gonna ask you if you were willing to take requests for Kaizo hacks to play, and yeah. I would have requested Super Poo World 3, just because I don't know if you heard of it, but
I have.
Okay, you have. So I only requested it because as you know, I am a video game music connoisseur, and I was listening to the soundtrack, and they have so many good soundtracks on that.
Yeah, they really do. I haven't heard the full soundtrack of that one, but I know I've heard some of it. And really, all those hacks have some good music. They have a little bit of everything from different games, and it's one of the aspects. I know you just said you feel this way as well. The music is part of the fun as well, just as much as the game. So
yeah, it's a couple of things. They have a 16-bit remix of Super Mario Brothers 2, the Overworld and Underworld. So they have that perspective. They also have 16-bit of Metroid, like some Metroid soundtracks. So it's like Metroid is known for one their great music.
One of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah, but they also have a 16-bit remix of Coolio. Living Gangster's Paradise, and and Rick Ansley's never going to give you up. They have,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really really fun to listen.
I don't think I've heard. I think I've heard the Rick Astley one, but
imagine listening to Gangster's Paradise in 16-bit Super Nintendo music. It's so good. It's so funny.
Yeah, I haven't heard that on there. I've only heard some of the soundtrack, but I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah. So last question says, any late golf plays if Lowry doesn't get there? So yeah, we have Shane Lowry 80, I think 81 or 91. I can't remember what number we got. I think we got 80-1. And he's tied for first right now. Again, Shane Lowry was he was right there last week too, and he choked on Sunday. Hopefully he doesn't choke this Sunday. I'm scared to death of Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler's and I know, Slew, you said you were a golf novice, for at least for betting. I don't know how much you know, but Scotty Scheffler is the best golfer in the world right now. Some people say John Rahm, but he hasn't done anything since the Masters last year. But Scheffler, he is the best golfer in my opinion in the world, but he can't putt. And if he putted even on average, he would win every tournament. It'd be insane. He would go on a run that Tiger Woods had. It was 15 years ago or so. Tiger Woods, if you look at his results, it was win, 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 win. It's crazy. Scheffler would be like that if he could putt. But it seems like he's putting better this tournament, which everyone should be terrified because if he's figured it out, then he's going to win. So like that, I'm really worried about Scheffler winning. Scheffler's plus 150 though as a hedge, and like the problem here right now, I'm going to pull this up just to get this, and this is the last thing we're going to do. So right now, these are results. So Scheffler, Lowry at the top at 9 under. You have Wyndham Clark, the U.S. Open winner from last year, 8 under. And you have 3 guys. Zalatoris, great comeback from injury. He had back problems. Russell Henley and Hideki Matsuyama, who just recently won a tournament. And then you have Harry English at 6 under. Rory, Sammy Burns. We also have Burns at 28-1. And Max Homa at 5 under. It's like this is so congested. It's like so hard to get a hedge here. If I had a hedge with anyone, it would be Scheffler at plus 150. But like, I want to, I just want to see what happens. I'm going to try to get a hedge play in at some point tomorrow, unless like Lowry really craps the bed. Like if he opens up like bogey, and he's like out of it, then just can't hedge. But if a hedge opportunity presents itself, I will tweet it out. I'll post it on the site. I'll do whatever. I'll make it known. But as for now, I just don't see a good hedging opportunity because everything's so congested. Like an ideal world, it would just be Scheffler and Lowry at the top, and then like you could just hedge with Scheffler. Like that'd be awesome. But like Clark is right there, Zalatoris is right there, Henley, Matsuyama. Even I don't think English is gonna win, but like he even has a chance. Like McIlroy could just go crazy. You know, like even Sam Burns can still win. And that'd be great. He's basically a built-in hedge for us already. So like if it wasn't so congested, I'd have a hedge, but like it's like any of these guys can win. Like I think anyone 5 under or better right now could win this tournament. So it's just very, very difficult to hedge, unfortunately. It's not like 2 weeks ago when it was just Knapp and Lauer and Valimaki at the top. Like that was an easy hedge. Like this is so much more difficult. So yeah, I hope Lowry can come through. It'd be really great for that to happen. But yeah, like just watch out. Just watch out. Thanks. Yeah, just watch out on Sunday at some point in the afternoon. Even if I don't see it, like it's tough to say, but like I'll tweet something out about it, even if I don't hedge. But like I'll be looking for an opportunity for sure. So. Yeah, there's that.
It's
so
tough, your golf calls have been really good. I haven't even been thinking about golf. I've been like focusing on hockey. That I swear every weekend rolls around and I forget about your golf plays. Like, every week, and I was like, oh crap, it's Thursday already.
Well, you could always bet. You could bet live too, you know. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So. Well, speaking of golf, remember, get your free pack, get your free Rainmakers pack.
Yeah.
Because it's free money. Like, why not? You know. So all right, anyway, yeah, once again, thanks Lou, thanks everyone for commenting, watching, really appreciate it. We're gonna be back on Tuesday with Jacob talking about free agency starts on Monday. Well, the real day is Wednesday, but there's gonna be news on Monday. So yeah, we'll have shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as usual. I think Kenny will be back on Wednesday, Tom Thursday, and then Saturday we'll be recapping free agency signings on Friday and Saturday. So we have a full week ahead. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, Tom, great as always to do the show with you. Really, like always, like I said, I always looking forward to it. So
likewise. Thanks for having me as always, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you guys later.